Hello team and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we are going to see some of the most important and real-time Python automation scripts. As I told you before, I'm going to share you some of the Python scripts that I have actually used in my projects. So I have modified these scripts a little bit, but yeah, they will help you understand in real time what kind of projects do we use in companies. For example, let's say I have deployed an application and these applications physical servers are kept on some location and there is heavy rain on that location. So what I can do, because I need to make sure that my application runs all the time, so I can write a Python script which will first fetch the weather condition of that location, and if condition is not so good, it's going to scale up the number of pods so that some other pods can also be created from another location, so that we can have multiple pods, and if there is heavy traffic coming on our application, it can be easily handled. And this whole thing we can do implement using Python scripts. Okay, I'm going to show you that. In addition to this, there are so many different scripts are also there, which I'm going to show you, which are actually being used in companies. Okay, so make sure to watch this video till end so that you don't miss out any of the scripts or any of the like automation that I'm going to show you along with the use cases. Okay, these are completely real time. Okay, yeah. So if you are new on the channel, make sure to subscribe, and if you are already subscribed, then make sure to watch the videos because they are real time and they are really useful for you. Now with that being said, let's get started. So team, before we get started with the hands-on part, let me explain you the exact scripts that we are going to implement today. Okay, so starting with the first script. So first script, we are going to have a Python automation script which is going to monitor a website. Okay, any application that we have deployed, we want to monitor it. That we can do using Python automation script. But the best part is that the status of the website, that is if the website is up and running or if the website is down, that information will be getting on Slack through notification. Okay, this part I'm going to show you with hands-on. Okay, then we have second one. Second, basically what we are going to do, let's say I have deployed an application inside Kubernetes cluster. Okay, let's say for example grocery website we have, and if heavy rain is coming, obviously people will order everything from online and traffic will increase on the online shop, right? In that case, what we have to do, we have to make sure that number of pods should be more so that traffic can be handled. That means what we need to do, we need to perform auto scaling of pods based on weather condition. Okay, and this also will be automatic, so this also we can implement. Third, we are going to have email campaign. Okay, so let's say that I have a requirement where I want to send multiple mails to multiple like individuals, and mail should be individuals. Okay, and the mail should be custom made and it should be proper. So if I want to send it automatic, okay, I don't want to write it down one by one, and don't want to send it like that, so we can automate it using Python script. Okay, that also I'll be showing you. Next script that I wanted to show you is about the backup. So we can set up a custom Python script that can run on daily basis at the end of the day, and it is going to back up specific folder, first converting it into zip file and then putting it into a specific location. That also I'm going to show you hands-on. Talking about the next script, so next we have web scraping. So basically what happens, let's say I have a blogging website. Okay, now on this blogging website there are tons of different blogs, and what I want, I do not have time to go through all the blogs. So I just want that whatever number of blogs are there, the headings, I just want to get that. So that is like web scraping. So that also we can do using Python. Okay, and this is why this is going to be useful, because let's say you want to get what is news, like what news is going on, so you can get the headings of all the news that is ongoing on today, and that also you can just download it. Okay, very easily. Next we have chatbot interaction. So like there are at this point every company, they have their own chatbots where you can put some question like I need help with this, and chatbot is going to reply. So how exactly chatbot replies, how we can set up that, I'm going to show you hands-on. Okay, then we have next one, we have cleanup directory policy. Okay, now let's say we have multiple directories, and there are many directories that has files that are older than year, which are of no use. So we do not have enough time to go through it and delete it manually one by one. So we can set up a Python automation script whose task is basically to go inside a directory, find out which file is older than, like let's say 90 days. If some file is there which is older than 90 days, it's going to delete it automatically. We can set up that Python script also. Okay, and talking about next one, So next we have a very interesting one actually, downloading YouTube videos. Okay, so there are many cases where it is possible that you might be traveling to some location where you might not get good network. So in that case, if you want to go through watching videos and learning something, you can simply download those videos in your local machine without any third party application. Okay, you can simply write a Python script and that is going to download the YT videos very easily. Okay, that also I'm going to show you hands-on. Okay, then we have next one. Now we have an option to categorizing files. Okay, what does it mean? So basically, let's say we have multiple files in a single folder. We have files like PDF files, we have text files, we have some video files, right? So what we can do, we can write a Python script which will, based on extension, it is going to put these files into separate folders. Okay, basically organizing all your files properly. So that can be done with Python. Okay, now next we have very interesting one that I use on regular basis previously, is basically syncing of repos. Okay, so let us say in companies, obviously developers, they are going to work on their local machine, right? They are going to clone a repository and they are going to work on local machine. So we can write a Python script whose task is that, let's say this is my Git repository. Okay, and on my personal laptop I have created a clone of it. Okay, so once I clone, it's not getting updated, right? Because it is possible that on the remote repository we might be updating something. So what I can do, I can write a Python script whose task is to update my repository on local on daily basis. So let's say if I have, like, let's say 100 repositories on local, then with a single Python automation script we can update our like run basically git pull command in one go on all the repositories. Okay, this will be very helpful in keeping the repositories in sync with the remote repositories. Okay, so all this I'm going to show you completely hands-on. That's why I'm saying do not miss out the video, because see, while executing these scripts we are going to face issues also. So if you are watching the video, then you will get to know what exactly we have to do in order to fix the issue. So team, before we get started with the script, I want to let you know that batch 7 of DevSecOps and Cloud DevOps is starting very soon. You can enroll. It is starting on 2nd of November. As of now we are having discounts. You can click on there and you can enroll to this course. Okay, best part is that this course is basically going to be started from scratch and we are going to cover almost everything. And in this batch I have added so many new things which is going to help you understand a lot of things in DevOps and DevSecOps from real-time point of view. Okay, and yeah, we are going to focus more on hands-on part, talking about like schedule. So we are going to have live sessions on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, and you are going to get pre-recorded videos on weekdays. In this we will be able to utilize complete 7 days. Okay, detailed description of the course, like what exactly we are going to cover, what exactly is the syllabus, you can find out in the description in the description itself. Okay, from there you can enroll itself as well. You can check out the syllabus. Okay, for any queries you can ping me on Telegram or WhatsApp. So team, 2 more things you have to know definitely before you start working with the scripts. So first thing, like, it is possible that multiple times you might be getting error like this, module not found. For example, let's say you are running the command and you are using a module OS, or let's say you are using module 𝗏𝗏𝗏. So if you are getting error like 𝗏𝗏𝗏 module not found, in that case you just have to run a command like this, pip install, then whatever module you are running, terminal is unable to find, you can run that like this, and that issue will be solved. And this error module not found, you are going to get a lot, because we are going to utilize so many different modules throughout this video. So if you are running this for the first time, you might be getting these issues. Okay, second thing that you should be knowing, we are having multiple script, which I explained what kind of script we are going to have, right? But in order to automate everything, you have to use 2 things. One option is that if you are working with Linux, you can use cron jobs, right? But I'm working with Windows now, right? For this video I'm using Windows. So for that we have an option to set up task scheduler. Okay, so let me just immediately show you how we can automate scripts. Okay, for example, let's say I have this scripts. Okay, I have this script which I'm going to explain you later, but let's say I want to automate it completely. So how I can do that? Okay, so for that, what I have to do, first of all, in browser you have to go and search in search icon, you have to type task scheduler and open that. Okay, once you have opened that, you need to click on create basic task. Okay, and here you need to provide a name by like my Python task, and make sure to remember this name because it will be needed later on. In case you want to stop the task, it will be needed. Okay, now that is done, you need to click on next, and here you need to select like on what kind of like rotation you want to run your script. Let's say I want to run it on daily basis. Click on next, and here you can select the time where exactly you want to run it. Okay, you can see I'm saying that on daily basis it's going to run at 7:29 a.m. Okay, click on next, then you have to click on start a program. Now the thing is key, since we have Python script, that means the way that we run Python script is like this. We have to type the command Python, then like a script name. Let's say we have script name like this, script.py. So in this way we run the command, right? Same thing we have to do here. First we have to find the Python executable file location. For that, what you have to do, you have to run cmd, and in cmd you have to type where Python. Okay, and the first thing that you see here, first line, make sure to copy that. That is the executable file of Python, not the second one. Second one is like not the correct one. First one is the one that you'll be needing. Okay, paste it here. Okay, and make sure if you are not sure, you can simply browse on the location as well. You can see here we'll be able to see Python exe. Okay, next we have to provide the location of the script which we want to run, right? For example, I have this t2.py which is present where. So if I try to find it, I can go here, documents, then Python programs, and we have this t2, right? So I can copy this path, and once copied, I can go back to task scheduler. Here I can paste it, then slash, then name of the file t2.py, and now you can click on next and click on finish. You can see here trigger is daily at 7:29 every day. Okay, click on finish. Now it's going to run on daily basis. But let's say it is running fine and you are able to work with it, right? So one option is that if you are already on the same page, you can delete directly from here. But if you are not on the same page, and if you want to delete your Python automated script, you have to run a command like this. You have to run a schedule task delete n, then name of the task that you have, then /f. /f means like forcefully immediately delete the task. Okay, for example, if I copy here, paste here, you can see success, the schedule task has been deleted successfully. Okay, so these two things you should remember, and now we can start understanding and seeing how the Python scripts work. So team, now let us get started with understanding the first use case where we have to use the Python automation script. Okay, so let us understand it with an example. Let's say that I have a grocery shop. Okay, this grocery shop exists physically also, and it exists online also. There are two versions. There is physical shop, and secondly we have online also. Okay, so generally people will just go to physical shop to buy something as per their requirement. Okay, online shopping will be less as compared to physical in case of grocery. Okay, now let's say at some point, let's say this exists in London. Okay, so at some during some time, what happened, there is heavy rain. Okay, if heavy rain is going on, then it is not possible for everyone to go to physical shop, and people will be preferring more to order everything from online. Correct? That means ki if I have deployed this application, the grocery shop application on Kubernetes, and let's say initially we are having one pod which is handling everything, but in case of heavy rain, what is going to happen? Loading of the traffic will happen, because so much of traffic will be coming to online store. Many people will be coming and ordering things. That means for one pod, it's not very easy to handle everything. That means in order to make sure that our application is able to handle all the traffic, we can increase the number of pod to 3, right? 3 or 4 as per the requirement, right? That means the condition here that we are setting up is that if heavy rain is there, the number of pods should be scaled up to 3, correct? So that's what we can do using Python automation script, which I am going to show you in a bit. Okay, condition we have, if heavy rain is going on in the location London, then it's immediately our script should immediately increase the number of pods to 3. Scaling up should be done. Okay, So for that, first of all, let me show you. This is the Kubernetes cluster I have set up inside Azure cloud. And here, if I go to workloads, let me show you. This is the deployment blogging app, and as of now it is having just one pod. Okay, now if I go to service and ingress, here we can access our application using this. You can see its application is running fine. Okay, now what I want to set up the condition, right? I want to create the Python automation script. So what will be the steps for it? Let me explain you the steps as well. Okay, so first step is going to be getting the weather information. Okay, first is getting weather information. Secondly, it's going to we need to verify like how is weather, if weather is like sunny, rain, or like heavy rain. Okay, and I want the condition like during heavy rain only the scaling up should be happening, right? Third thing should be there, that we have to create the function or commands which is going to scale up the pods based on the condition. Okay, these three steps we have to do. So first we have to get weather information, how we can get. Okay, so for that you'll be going on this website weatherapi.com, and here from here you'll be getting one API. Once you get this API key, then you can simply put it inside this kind of URL. Okay, here you can put the API key, and here you need to put the location which you want to get the information about. Okay, now if I copy this, put it in browser, and see this is the normal file, but you can see not everything is visible clearly, right? So I can click on here to convert it into JSON. Once it is converted to JSON, I can see here the condition. It says weather is sunny. Okay, that means that once we get the information of weather, we need to make sure that we are converting it to JSON so that data can be easily fetched. Okay, now let me explain you the code that we have to write. So first we have to import two modules which will be request and sub process. So these modules were needed for the performing this automation. Request will be required because we need to send request to some website, and then we have to get a response from there as well. Okay, then sub process module we are going to utilize somewhere during the scaling up part, where we have to set up the try and except condition. So for that we'll be needing it. Now first function that we are creating is get weather data. Inside this, the parameter that we are going to pass is, it's going to be the name of the location where you want to get the weather. Okay, now first here we have to define weather API key that we have just created from weatherapi.com, and we have to set up a base URL. Base URL will be needed because using the base URL only we are going to get the information about the weather. Okay, format you can see you have to API key we are using in form of variable and the city. Okay, then what we are doing, so the output for this, the output that I just showed you here, this output is going to be stored inside another variable named response. Okay, then as I say, this response variable, it holds the output, but that output is not in JSON format. So we are going to convert that output into JSON format, and that we are going to store in another variable named data. So here we are converting response.json. Okay, here we are converting the output into JSON format. Then we have conditions, like when we want to scale up the pods. So two conditions are there. First condition is that if there is no error in data, that means we are successfully able to fetch the weather information. That means there is no error. Okay, in that case what is going to happen, two sub conditions we are going to have, right? First condition is if heavy rain is there in the weather, then we want to scale up the pod. If there is no heavy rain, then we are going to simply print weather condition is not heavy rain, no scaling action is required. Correct? This is the sub condition of if there is no error in the data. If there is any error in the data, then we are going to print error fetching data for so and so. Okay, understanding how scaling up is happening. So for scaling up, we are going to create another function named scale AKS pods using kubectl. Now explaining you the function that we have created. So here we are using this kind of command. We are running the command kubectl scale deployment, then deployment name, then how replicas we want to scale up to how many. Okay, you can see here we are this is the function that we have created. Okay, that also we are using try and except, so that if any error comes, it can be handled. Okay, here in this function we are passing three parameters: namespace, deployment name, and replicas. Okay, here if I show you, we are calling this function here. Namespace we have to provide equal to blogging app, deployment name was bank app, and replicas I want to scale up to 3. Okay, that means 3 pods. Okay, and eventually we are calling the main function, which was get weather data, and we are passing the name of city as London. Correct? Now we have to implement this, but before that we need to understand that from our PC we should be able to communicate with Azure Cloud AKS cluster. Okay, for that what we have to do, for that first of all you need to make sure that you have 𝗏𝗁 installed. 𝗏𝗁, you can download it from your Windows machine. You can simply go to first link itself, and here click on install, and here we have click Windows, and we can download it. Okay, once you download it, next what you have to do, you have to run the command az login -- use dash device dash code. What it's going to do, it's going to let you log in or connect to your Azure account from here. For that, first we have to open this link in browser, and here you can see we have to allow put a code. The code is this one, which we have just received, right? So I'll copy the code as well, and I'll press it here, paste it here, click on next. Now you have to log in with the email address with which you have created your Azure account. Once you have logged in, you can go back to Visual Studio Code and wait for a few seconds, and you can see it's saying retrieving tenants and subscription. So it's able to get the subscription details. Next, if you are having multiple subscription, you can like type number, simply press enter. Now we are connected to our Azure account. Once we are connected to Azure account, next thing that we have to do is we need to make sure that we are able to access the AKS cluster also. How we can do that? So for that we have to run next command, which is going to be something like this: az AKS get credentials, then resource group name, then the name of the AKS cluster that you have created. I'll copy this command, I can paste it, and I can run. This will make sure that we are able to connect to our AKS cluster. Now, if I need to interact with AKS cluster, how do we interact? We interact using kubectl. That means we need to make sure that we have installed kubectl as well. For that, you can run the command az AKS install CLI. Since this is I have already ran this command here, so it is not required to run it again. Now, if you are using Windows machine, you need to make sure that you are able to run the kubectl command. For that, you need to make sure that the path is correctly added. Path in the sense this one. In your case, this might be a little different, which is going to be like your username. So what you have to do, you have to copy this, and then you have to search here as environment variables, then system variables, then search for path, this one, click on edit. Now at the end somewhere you'll be able to see something like this one. If you are not able to see, then you have to add it manually. Okay. Once you have added it, it should be working fine. Still, if in case it's not working, you simply need to run this command on your command prompt or anywhere else, like some terminal. Okay. And this will make sure that you are able to run kubectl command. For example, if I run kubectl, it should work fine. Okay. Also, once you have installed kubectl, you can run the command kubectl get nodes. And here you can see we are able to communicate with Kubernetes cluster on Azure. We can see as of now, there are 2 worker nodes available. Okay. Now, talking about running the code. So here, let us run our code and let's see how it works. Okay. I can copy this. I can go back to here. Okay. Now, weather API key you have to just replace, and rest you need to make sure that you have successfully connected to your AKS account as well. Okay. So initially, what weather conditions we have? I'll show you here. Heavy rain is set up. If heavy rain is going to come, then we need to scale up the replicas of pods to 3, right? And as of now, we can confirm also, as of now, we are just having, if I go to workloads, pods, as of now, we are just having one bank app pod, right? Now, so let me save this and let us run this. Python. Okay, we can run this. And I think we have some error. Let us fix this. Python is not recognized at the time. Sorry about that, my mistake. Python t2.py. Okay. Now here it says weather in London is sunny, temperature is this, and weather condition is not heavy rain. That means no scaling is required. But how do we test it? So just for testing purpose, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the condition to sunny. That condition that if weather condition is sunny, it's going to scale up. Okay. So here instead of heavy rain, I can write the condition as sunny. And here also let me change. Okay. Now that means the code is basically it is going to work if weather condition is sunny. That means if weather condition is sunny, it's going to scale up the pod, right? So we can execute this and let's see. Now here you can see weather condition is sunny, scaling the number of pods in AKS, and now it says scaled the deployment bank app to 3 pods. Okay, we can confirm the same by going here. If I refresh the page, let's see. Here bank app, you can see 3 by 3, and if I show you the pods, 1 pod, 2nd pod, 3rd pod, 3 pods are now available. Okay, that means ki our code is working fine and it is going to work based on weather conditions. Okay, I hope this was clear, and this code you'll be able to find in the Telegram group. Okay, and you can practice it. So team, next use case is quite interesting, and it's basically working on web scraping. Okay, now there are so many different websites that could be there from where you want to get just the heading kind of thing. Okay, for example, let's say we have a news website. On that there will be multiple news, but let's say you do not have time to read all of them and you just want to get the like heading 1, heading 2, heading 3 kind of news. Okay, not just for news website, but also it can be used for like blog website where we have different topics on different blogs. So there also, like, you just want to get the information about headings so that you can just get an overview. Okay, so in that case we could use web scraping Python automation script, which is going to get the specific headings, whichever specific versions you want. You can set up in the script, and that information you will be getting. Okay, for example, for this web scraping example, I want to show you through a news website. Okay, let's say we are visiting some website like India Today, and there are tons of news on that, right? So I do not have time to read all of this. I just want to get the headings. Okay, that we can get. How we can do that? Let me show you. Okay, so here first of all you need to make sure that you are importing 2 modules, request module, because we'll be reaching out some website, getting some response for that. Then I want to install this module as well, beautiful soup 4, which is going to be needed because we are going to extract things. We are going to parse the data that we are going to get. Okay, it's quite simple, and let me show you how we can utilize this. I can copy this, we can go back here, paste it here, save this, make sure that you are saving that. Okay, here you can see what is happening here. First, we are creating a function scrape headlines demo. Okay, where the parameter is going to be URL, and URL we can pass like this, like indiatoday.in/India. Okay, then in response we are storing the data that we are receiving while sending a request. Okay, then we are going to parse the request that we are getting. Okay, using beautiful soup function. Okay, after that what we have to do, we want that from that website there could be so many different types, right? So we want that the specific text that is in h2 tag, that means it is specifically headings. Those tags, those specific lines I want to get. Once we get it, then we can, using a for loop, we can print all of them. Okay, it is simple as that. So let us run this, and I can run in this format. Now here if you look closely, we got 20 information, okay, 20 headings, okay. And we can confirm the same thing if I go to the website. Let me copy this and let us go to the website. Here I can print, let's remove the quotes, okay. Puri Jagannath, then cotton CCTV, these kind of headings we got, okay. Same thing we are getting here also, Puri Jagannath, cotton CCTV, so and so, okay. So this Python automation script is also useful, and I have shown you with respect to a news portal, but this is useful for another kind of information also, like scraping the headings from different kind of website. It is quite useful, okay. Plus we can add more scripting inside this to perform in different scenarios, okay. For example, like I can add some script so that it fetches the headings and put it in a separate file, and then it creates that, it basically exports the information. Okay, so yeah, this is the second use case. Let me show you the next use case. Talk about the use case 3, which is something that I use on regular basis. Okay, so most of you already know that I have a website, DevOps.com, where I have my courses, plus I do free webinars on that, right? Webinars and masterclasses. Okay, so whenever I create or schedule new masterclass, usually I send mail notification to others, to all the like registered users, so that they can notified and they can attend the masterclasses. Okay. So how do I do that? So there are two ways to do that. First option is that you can send one single mail to, and you can put the in two section. You can put the all the recipients. Okay. All the email address. But this is not a good practice because the emails of other people will be visible to everyone else, which is not good thing. Okay. Second option is that we can send mail individually. Okay. Individually with the same content to everyone, all the registered users on the website, right? Which is the much better option. But if we try to do it manually, it's a very hectic task. Obviously, if we have like around 11,000 people registered on the website, then it's not easy to send mail individually to everyone. Correct. So how do we do that? So that's where Python automation can be helpful for us. We can set up a Python script and we can add the content what we want to send. In addition to that, we can even add attachments. If I want to send some PDF file, I can add it there itself, and I can run this script one time, and individually it's going to send mail notification to all the registered users or to whichever specific users I want to send. Okay, and let me show you how this can be achieved. Okay, so for this, first of all, you need to remember one thing. Okay, because see, if you want to send mail, two things are very important. First, an email address from where you are going to send the notification emails, plus a password. Okay, now interesting thing is that when we talk about this password, this is not the password of email. It's a different password which is known as, actually it's one second, it's known as app password. Okay, so this password is completely different than the password that you use to log into your account. Okay, now let me show you. Let's say I have one email xyz@gmail.com. From this email, I want to see email notification to different users. So this email will be having two kind of password. One password is that using which, let's say password one is that using which you can log into your account, see mails and everything. Second password is going to be something that is going to be utilized for like sending email notifications. Okay, and second password, even if someone gets hold of it, they cannot use it to access your email. Okay, so we have to generate the app password. So how we can generate? For that, you have to go to this URL. Okay, let me show you. I can go here, click enter, and this will open a window where you have to type your password. So once you log in, it is going to ask you to create a password, and you just have to click on, you just have to provide any name and it will create a password for you. You have to make sure that you are saving that password somewhere else, and that password will be looking something like this. Let me show you. Something like this. Okay, in like 4 sections it will be there. Each section will be having 4 characters, and something like this the password will be looking. Okay, now actually I have created 2 scripts. One is going for the like single recipients, which is like very simple one. But second script is going to be for multiple recipients. Okay. Other thing that you need to remember is basically if you are running this, if you are going to run this script over Linux machine, you need to make sure that you have opened the port 465, because that is the port on which, that is the Gmail server port. Okay, smtp@gmail.com, that is the smtp server for Gmail. Okay, so that runs on port 465, so make sure you have opened it. Okay, now let me show you how it looks. 1 second. Okay, we can go to here, I can put it here. Okay, now here first we have to import different modules because we'll be needing them. First, multiple modules we are importing from email. Okay, plus smtp library for, like, obviously we are going to need smtp. Then OS module also we are importing. Okay, encoders also we have to import because we are specifically we are going to write a specific body for the email. Okay. Next, we are creating a function named send individual emails, where first we are going to define, it's going to have 4 parameters: subject, body, recipients, and PDF. So basically what we want to attach some PDF file or any other document file also. Okay, so that will be passed as parameter. Then email settings, here we have to provide email address from which you want to send email, then password, as I mentioned you, app password, which you can get using the URL, this one. Where is it? myaccount.google.com/app passwords. Okay. Next, it's a body, or it's a template for a template for sending email, and this you can write it using HTML. But yeah, if you are very good at HTML, then you have to write it, or you can just get someone else to write it for you. Okay. After that, we are going to run a for loop, because as I say, individual mails we have to send. Okay. So in this for loop, each time it's going to send a mail to specific recipient. Okay. Now here you can see recipient, it's written. So how long and where exactly we are passing the value of recipients. If I scroll down, you can see recipients list, and here we have to pass the name of recipients to which we want to send the email notification. Okay, and here recipients equal to recipients list, and that's what happening here. You can see this, right? So this is how it's going to work. Okay, now the PDF that I want to use, I have written the name here and I have kept the PDF file in the same location. Correct? Now, and these are, you can see, this is the function calling. We are just calling the function here, passing the parameters. Subject is this, body is going to be this, and recipient is the list of recipients to which you want to send mail, and then PDF file. Okay. For example, let's say a second recipient, I will just put the name as another email, 𝗏𝑖𝑘𝑎𝑠@gmail.com. Okay. Once we have run that, once we have written this, I can run this file. Now, sending email notification for multiple emails, it may take some time. Okay, it's quite big, it may take some time, so let's wait for this. We can check the status here. I can refresh the page, and here also let's wait. It's taking a little bit of time. Okay, so let's wait. Okay, so now you can see there is a mail received from my account, and here if I open it, this is the structure of the mail. You can see proper formatting is done, plus here we have received the attachment also. So that's how you can send email notification to different users. And see, to this it was not able to send because this address was not at all found. So team, next one is another script which is quite important and quite useful. Okay, so here we are going to do something known as file handling. Okay, and this is not the basic file handling, it's a different kind of thing. Okay, for example, let's say we are having multiple files named 1.txt, then 2.txt. Okay, then we have some image also in JPG format. and similarly we are having like xyz.pdf files, correct? Maybe we are having like abc abc.java files, like basically different formats of files we are having, okay, different kind of files. So what I want that using my Python script, automatically it should be able to move let's say text files to a folder named let's say docs, then images should be moved to a folder named image, okay, pdf it should be moved to folder name like pdf, right, and java files should be moved to a folder named java, right? It should be quite useful, correct? So how we can implement this using Python, let me show you. So for this, two modules you'll be needing which are quite important, module OS and module 𝗏𝗁. 𝗏𝗁 contains the method which is going to help you move the files from one directory to other directory, okay? Here two variables, two parameters we are using, source directory and destination directory, then file extension, three parameters we are having in the move files by type function, okay? Here on left side you can see we have text files, we have jpg files, we have pdf files, okay? Now what I want that this should be we should be able to move these different kind of files in different folders. So first of all I'm going to create folder here. First folder I'm creating whose name is going to be let's say docs, okay? Second folder which I'm going to create not inside docs, we want to create here, which is going to be named as images, okay? Then one more folder we need to create which is going to be let's say we have text file done, pdf text file, maybe I'm going to write text, okay? So three folders we are having now, okay? And function we have created. So what we can do, we can simply call this function three times. How we can do that? First function where we want to move the pdf file. So first we have to put the source path. Source is the current directory itself, so I'm just going to put a dot with the path to destination. So pdf files I want to move to docs, okay? One time we called pdf file move to docs folder. Second time I'm going to call this function again, and this time what I want the destination folder to be text, okay? And this time it should be looking for a file extension that is txt, okay? Similarly, third time that I want to call this function, then this time it should be looking for a file with format jpg, which is for images, and it should be able to move the file to images folder, correct? This is what we can run. I can save this and I can run this. As of now, on left side you can see output, example text, then multiple pdf file, then one image is there, right? As soon as I run this, then all this file should be moved directly into the dedicated folders, okay? As soon as I run it, you can see all those files are gone, and if I expand text, you can see text files, images, image file, then docs. Inside docs we have doc files, okay, pdf files. So this is another useful script that we can utilize in a very good way. I'm now talking about another Python script which is basically about chatbot, okay? Now the thing is the exact chatbot I'm not going to create because that will be like quite big, but I'm going to show you how exactly chatbot will be working, okay? So when you are creating chatbot using Python, then you have to make sure that you are importing the module NLTK, which is required for creating and handling the chatbot responses and basically working with chatbot, okay? So you need to make sure that you have this. Also, in case you face error that module not found, then you have to run the command pip install then NLTK, okay? This command you need to remember because in other cases also, whenever you face an issue like a module not found, you have to run command like this, pip install that specific module, okay? Now here what we are doing, two modules we are importing, first NLTK, and then from NLTK we are importing chat and reflections, okay? Now why exactly chat you understand that basically needed for like chatbot thing, but what exactly is reflections and why do we need it? So here let's say user inputs that I need help with my order, okay? So how chat will understand that, okay, I need to address this user now because this section is I, but user need to address this user as you, right? This is basically reflection, and this is possible with help of reflections only, okay? Now inside chatbots we have to define pairs. pairs are nothing but basically a question and answer pair. Okay, here what exactly you can see, help plus this side like a random keyword. Basically if I write anything which contains help in between, then chatbot is going to reply, sure, how can I assist you. Similarly, if I write anything which has price of in between, then chatbot is going to reply the price of like percentage 2 means whatever I write in this section, okay, is $50. Similarly, if someone writes like that key, it has course in between, then it's going to that user is going to get a response like this. If you are looking for DevSecOps and Cloud DevOps course, then check out this link. Okay. Similarly, if you just type quit, then it's going to close the chatbot like interactions. Okay. So let us see how exactly it looks while working with it. So I have copied that and I'll paste it here. Let us save this. Okay. And let us run this. As soon as you run, you'll see welcome to customer support, type so and so. Okay, let's say I'll just write I need help. Okay, so here when I write I need help, that means help is in my sentence. Okay, now immediately chatbot is going to respond like, sure, how can I assist it. Okay, similarly if I write let's say what is the price of a cycle. Now here also price of we are including, so it's going to understand. Okay, the price of a cycle is $50, it's going to say. Okay, then if I write what are some latest courses. Okay, if I write courses, it's going to enter this. You can see since course was included, then it's going to reply if you're looking for so and so, so and so. Okay, similarly if I just want to close this, I can type quit and it's going to close this session. Okay, so this chatbot you can create very easily. See, the functionality is like this only, but as I say, in Telegram or any other place, if you want to set up like automatic responses, or like if you want to set up chatbot on your website, this is the functionality that is being used, but it's on a different level. Okay, it's on a very high level. Okay, so team, now let's talk about the next use case. Now here we are talking about monitoring some server. Okay, and not just monitoring but also getting the notification of the status of the server on Slack. Okay, so first what we have to do, we have to make sure that we have webhooks created on Slack. Next we need to make sure that we have enabled notifications on Slack. Okay, after these two things are done and after enabling webhook, we need to get the URL as well for the webhook, then only we can utilize it. Okay, once we have done that, then we can write the Python automation script inside which we have to use two parameters. One is going to be server URL which we want to monitor, and second is going to be the Slack webhook URL using which we can send notification to Slack. Okay, so for this, first of all, we need to configure Slack in such a way that we are able to send notification on Slack. Okay, so let's do that. So first of all, we need to set up a Slack webhook. For that, what we have to do, first of all, we have to go on this website. So I'll copy this and I can paste it here, and let's create an application. Okay, and we can generate a token as well, Python auto. I'll copy this and I'll save it here. Okay, so we have the token. What's the next step? Now we have to create app, and from scratch, that also I think we have already done. Okay, from scratch, app name we can put, let's say Python-auto, workspace we can select, create app. Okay, so we have the details now. Okay, what's the next step? Next step is to enter app name we have done, and app is created. Now once app is created, in the left sidebar, click on incoming webhook and incoming webhook is this one. I'll open it in new page, and we need to turn it on. Okay, side by side I think we are getting the webhook URL. 1 second. So permission to be sent, and click allow. Add new webhook to workspace. Okay, and we'll select this channel. Click on allow. So now we have the webhook URL as well. So I'll copy that as well, and I will paste it here. What's the next step? So next step we have on notification page. So I think I have already allowed the notifications. Okay, so we have already allowed it. Okay, and then we have signature, click allow. Okay, so this is the we have this hook URL, so we'll copy it and let me paste it here, and this we have to add in our Python script. Okay, now we have set up the Slack and we have configured for notification as well. Okay, you can see here added an integration to this channel. Okay, now what we have to do, what I have done, I have created this virtual machine, and inside there we have this target folder, and I can run this application so that we can just test it by monitoring this website. Okay, so for that I can execute java-jar, then Twitter. Okay, I'll run this and let us access it on browser as well, and this should be running on port 8080. Okay, so application is running fine. Okay, now the code that we are having, Python code, first of all make sure that you have request module imported. If not, you need to run the command pip install import pip install request. Okay, here we are creating one first function which is monitor server health, and two parameters we are passing. First is server URL which we want to monitor. Second is going to be the Slack webhook so that it can send the notification there. Okay, then we are using try and accept. Okay, in try we are setting up, first we are sending a request to the server URL, and whatever response we getting, we are storing it inside the response variable. Then first condition is that inside try is that if server is up, then we are going to give if we are getting the status code as 200, that means it is running fine, right? Status 200 means okay. Then we are going to give the message as server is up. Okay, else server is down. Okay, then sending notification to Slack, where we have Slack data equal to text, then message, and then we have Slack response. Okay, here we are going to use post method. Post method is what? It's going to send something. Okay, send what? It's going to send the Slack data in JSON. Okay, next part we have, if Slack response status is equal to 200, then Slack notification sent. That means, see, for sending the notification, for that also we need to confirm that notification is getting sent or not. If it is sent, then we can simply print the message Slack notification sent. If not, then fail to send notification. Then we have accept to for the error handling. Okay, now let us test this, and I can copy this URL. Here we have to modify the URL, so I can copy this and let us test it. First we have to put the server URL which we want to monitor, which is going to be this one in my case. I will add it here. Okay, then we have Slack. So Slack, we have Slack webhook URL, we have received it and we have saved it here. I can go ahead and I can paste it inside our code here. Okay, okay, so this is fine, and now we can run this. You can say Slack notification sent, it is up. Okay, and if I go to Slack, here you can see we receive the message also in form of notification. Okay, now let's say I want to stop this application. I have stopped that, right? And here and here we can run the code again, and let's see. Okay, and so we are getting error, and whatever error we are getting, so we received notification, that's it. Okay, from here we can confirm that application is not at all running. Okay, so this is how Slack notification we can configure. Okay, now let's move on to next use case. Next script that we have, it is like one of the most important one, which is just taking backup and keeping it somewhere on regular intervals of time. Okay, so for that we are going to use different modules, for example OS and 𝗏𝗁, which are the quite important ones, because 𝗏𝗁 is the one which is going to move the zip folder, zip file to some other folder. Okay, then we have date time module also, which is going to basically name our zip folder in a specific way as per the time or date when it is created. Okay, then we have zip module also, which is going to basically zip the folder. Then we are creating a function, and here we are defining backup and zip files. Two parameters we are giving: source folder and backup folder. Source folder is the folder whose backup we are going to take, and backup folder is the location where we are going to put the zip of source folder. Okay, and naming of the folder is going to be in specific way, like we are using join command here, and we are joining backup, then timestamp we had defined in this way, .zip. Okay, so in order to run this, the only thing that we have to do is call this function backup and zip files. Then first type we have to provide the information about the folder which we want to take backup of, and second is going to be the folder in which we want to put the backup. Okay, you can see this is the folder, like example output, this is the text folder of which I want to take backup, and this is the backup folder empty as of now, in which I want to put the backup. So I can save this and let us run this one time. As soon as you run, you can see backup has been created and time also properly given. Okay, 1:55 AM. Okay, for now I'll delete it. Okay, now this is fine, but the problem is if you want to take backup of something, we need to make sure that it is running on regular intervals of time, like daily, then weekly or monthly, as per that. Okay, so how do we do that? So firstly, we need to understand when we are going to run this through automation, then we have to make sure that the path of these folders we have to provide in absolute path. As of now, they are currently, since we are running the Python in the same folder, that's why I have just written the folder names, right? But when we are going to run them like through automation, then we have to provide the absolute path. Okay, so first thing we have to do, find the absolute path of this, and currently these two files are stored on this location, right? Images, text, docs and all, right? So first let me copy the path. I'll copy this path and I will paste it here. Okay, slash, this will be text. Similarly, we have backup, correct? Let me confirm. We have backup as well. Okay, and we can write it here. So now I'll copy this and I will add it in our code here. First is going to be text and second is going to be backup, and I'll just, okay. So team, once we have corrected the path for both the locations, you can save this and you can run it one time. Okay, and let's see what happens. Now here you see it's giving error. Why it's giving error? Because it's unable to, it's treating this slashes as the escape character. So in order to avoid it, we can simply add R, so that it's not going, it's going to treat the this slash as like literal character and not as escape character. Okay, so we can save this now and we can run this. As soon as you run, it will be able to work fine. Okay, now the thing is okay, we are able to run it, it works fine, but what about automation? Because whatever script we have, we want that it should be automated, correct? So for automation, in case of Linux, you can simply use cron jobs or cron tab. Like you can open cron tab, you can write the proper syntax for cron, right? In case of Windows machine, you have to use task scheduler. Okay, let me show you how we can configure it. So in task scheduler, you have to open task scheduler, click on basic task, and here we have to provide the name of the task. First it's going to be my Python task. Okay, and make sure to copy and paste it somewhere because later on you'll be needing it. Okay, why you'll be needing it? Because if you want to delete it, it's very hard to find a task in this list. So you can just simply have the name and you can, using a cmd command, you can delete it. Okay, click on next. Then here you can select like where you, when exactly you want to run. Click on next, and here you have to select the exact time. Let's say I want to run it on 2:15. Okay, here I'll just minimize it to something smaller. Okay, 2:15. 1 second. Okay, and click on 2:16. I have written. Click on next, and here start a program. Now here we have to select the path of Python where we have the Python exe. In case you don't know how to do that, you can go here, you can type where Python on cmd, and it will give you, you can see this location, it will give you that location. You can go on that location, select the Python and click on OK. Open. Then in arguments we have to provide the path of the Python script that we have written. So where do we get it? So I have stored my Python script on this location, right? So I can copy this path. I can go back to task scheduler, paste it in argument and add /t2.py, which is the name of our script. Okay, click on next and click on finish. Now it is supposed to run exactly in 1 minute. So let's wait for this, and once it is run, then we should be able to see in addition to this backup script, this is 212, right? We should be able to see another backup zip file which should be pointing to time 2:16. Okay, so let's wait for this. And also once this is completed, then you can delete it automatically also, because see, if you want to delete it manually, you have to go here, you have to search in like multiple location where exactly it is present, and it's very hard to do that. So in my opinion, just make sure that you note down the name of your task, and then I'll show you how you can delete that. Okay, let's wait for this 2:16 so that we can confirm if it is working fine or not. And meanwhile, we need to make sure that this is also saved. Okay. Okay, so this just saw one flicker, correct? Now after that flicker is done, then we can go back to here, and here you see new backup file is created. Okay, so this is how you can automate the any of the script that you have in Python. Okay, next thing is that we want to delete this script as well, delete the automated task also. In case we don't want to use it later on, we can delete it. How we can do that? So as I told you, you need to note down the task name. Then you have to run this command, schedule task delete /tn then your name of the task /f. /f basically confirms, basically it assumes that you have given the permission to proceed with deletion. What we have to do is you can simply copy this and directly run here, click enter, and now success. You can see the schedule task, my Python task was successfully deleted. Okay, so this is how you can automate tasks. Okay, so team, now we have very interesting script which is basically used for cleanup of the directories. Okay, so let us say that we have multiple directories, and there are some directories which have files that are older than 90 days or 30 days. Okay, and we want to remove them in one go. So it's not very easy for us to go inside each folder and find out, okay, which file is older than these days, so that we can delete it. So we can write a Python automation script which can perform the same for us. For that, you'll be needing two modules, OS module and time module. So here we are creating one function which has two parameters, directory and days old. Basically means that you need to provide the information about which directory you want to check and how many old data, like if it is 30 days old or 40 days old, you want to delete. Okay. Then first we are finding out the current time, so that we are using this to find the current time, because we'll be using it to find the difference. Okay, find the like how many like days old a file is. Then we are using a for loop. This for loop we are running so that we can check out each of the file. Okay, then we are finding the file path. Okay, and then yeah, main important thing is this one. So we are using if condition to make sure that the thing that we are checking, it's a file and not a directory, because this script is supposed to be applied for only files and not directories. Then we are finding the file age so that we can confirm if it is 30 days old or 40 days old. For that, we are using the current time. then minus OS path get time. Okay. So here we are setting up another sub condition where we are mentioning that if a file is greater than days old. Now this days old is a variable. So this is the value that we decide at runtime by passing the parameter. So if I decide if I need to pass this parameter as 30 days, then it means that if a file is 30 days old, or like if it is file is older than 30 days, then it's going to be removed. So here we are removing the remove function from OS module. Okay. Now how we can test it? So let's say we can utilize some other file. Let's say this is the folder that I can utilize. Okay, I'll copy this path and I can paste it here. Okay, so as of now inside that location we have two files, 1 and 2, that are supposed to be removed because they are older than 30 days. Okay, so we will save these and let's see how it goes. Okay, so this issue that you are seeing, because this backslashes, they are considered as like escape characters, and we don't want them to be like read as escape characters, so we have to add here as R. Once you add it, then this problem should be resolved. I can run this again, and you can see it says deleted 1.mkv, deleted 2.mkv. We can go back and we can see now the parameters folder is now empty. Okay, so this is how you can utilize this kind of script to clean up a directory. Now I showed you with a directory that is having just 2 files, but in real time this will be used for much bigger directories. So team, now I'm going to show you a really amazing script. Okay, for example, let's say that you are just learning things from YouTube, and what you want to download these videos in your local, so that you can watch them later whenever you want, right? Obviously, if you want to watch Azure CLI, then roadmaps, then monitoring, these things, if you want to watch directly in your local, you can watch them. But how do you do that? Okay. For example, let's say for reference, we can take the channel of a Code with Golden Cat who teaches Java and amazing applications. Okay. So here, first of all, what you have to do, you have to right click on view page source. Once you do that, click on line wrap, then search for channel ID. Once you search, you'll be getting this channel ID. Okay, make sure to copy it and save it somewhere. Okay, once we have this channel ID ready, then you can go to the code that I'll be sharing with you, and here this is the kind of URL, this is the feed URL. Okay, and here in channel ID you have to provide that channel ID that you have copied. Now talking about this code, how it's going to work. So first of all, we are using 𝗦𝘁𝗶𝗴. Okay, it's like another version of YouTube DL. Basically, you know, there are different kind of modules are there that can help you to download YouTube videos, but I tried all of them, and only one that is working is 𝗦𝘁𝗶𝗴. So if you want to work, if you want to utilize it, then you should be using this module only. Okay. And another thing is that in case you get errors like module not found, as I told you before also, you have to run the command pip install module name. Okay, so these two modules we are getting, YouTube DLP from YouTube DL, and then parse module. Okay, then we are creating a function download latest video. Okay, where the parameter that we are passing is this subscription feed URL, the channel feed URL, which is going to be something like this. Okay, and then output folder, the folder inside which we want the file to be created. Okay, so first of all, let me empty this folder so that we can use this folder itself. Okay, sorry about that. I want to delete this file. Okay, coming back here. So now two parameters we are passing, first the URL and then the output folder, the folder like backup inside which I want my videos to be created. Okay, next we are having feed. So here we are using this variable, and we are providing the subscription feed URL, which is going to be passed eventually. Okay, then we are using a for loop. In for loop, we can decide how many latest videos I want to download. So here it's written 5. That means it's going to download latest 5 videos. But if you want to download other also, you can simply write increase the number, and then it will be able to download. Okay. Then what we are using? Then we are using here from YDL module, we are using download function also, which is going to download the specific video format, a specific video. Okay. From where this is getting video URL, then he is getting it is getting from video URL equal to entry.link. So basically every time this loop runs, it's going to get the link of each of the video URL. Okay, later on it's going to decide like how the output will be created, like the name of the file that will be created, which you can see title plus extension. Okay, and after all this it's going to download. We are having the download function also from YDL, and it's going to download. Okay, then we are going to print print downloaded as video URL. Okay, in case we are getting some issue, then we are going to print failed to download video URL, reason whatever exception is coming. Okay, so this is what we can do, and here you can provide the subscription feed URL. I have already showed you how you can get the channel ID and output folder. Okay, so make sure to save this, and now we can run this, and let's see. So now you can see it has extracted the URLs, and it's going to download each of the URL one by one. Okay, and all those files will be saved inside this backup folder. You can see one by one they are getting saved. Okay, it's quite interesting, and it's quite useful as well, you can see, right? And let's wait for this to complete, then we can confirm if it is able to download and all the files are properly working or not. Okay, and okay, meanwhile we can go to backup folder itself, and where is it? Documents, Python programs, backup. You can see all different files are there. I can play any of them. Let me decrease the sound. Okay, it is able to download these files. Correct. Now we can add more things, like if you want to download in specific format, a specific quality, we can set up those things also, but that is the next thing. Okay, here you can understand very clearly that we have amazing libraries and modules in Python that can be utilized for so many different functionalities. Okay, so you can use this program as well to download files, download videos. So team, now we have really interesting Python script which is going to work with GitHub repository. Okay, so let us say that we have two GitHub repositories which we are working on our local as well. So these two Git repositories, full stack blogging app and then blue green deployment, these two repositories I have created a clone also on my local system. Okay, on my local system I have created these two repositories. Now my requirement is that key, see, on daily basis, let's say developers are pushing so much of code on daily basis. So what I want key at end of the day, these two codes should be updated in my local repository also. That means synchronization should be happening. Okay, so for that what we can do, we can write a script for that, and then I can run the script on automation. Basically I can set up so that my script runs every day at 6 p.m. Okay, now what it's going to do, it's going to update the repository by running the git pull command. Okay, how exactly does it work? So first of all, you need to make sure that you have OS module installed, then only it will work. Then we are creating a function where we have clone or pull repo. Now first it's going to check if the local directory exists or not. If it does not exist, it's going to clone the repository. Okay, because that is the case of running first time. Second time, if like let's say if directory already exists, like directory means this directory. Okay, if it already exists, then it's just going to run the command git pull. Okay, and then it's going to print the message updated repository in local directory. Okay, and then it's going to then we are passing the repositories, which repository we want to work with. So first two parameter you are passing, URL and directory. URL is going to be remote repository git URL, and directory is going to be the directory in which you have the repository created. Okay, so first time if I run it, then it's going to run the git pull command. Okay, for example, let's say here we have text.txt file, but it is not present in any of the repositories. That means those are new changes that we need to run git pull. Okay, one more scenario we can cover. Let me use a new repo which is not at all present. Okay, let's say I'm going to use this EKS Terraform. So I'll copy this. 1 second, we have to add this, right? So I can create a copy of this. Okay, now here what I want to use this repository. So I will replace this with my new repository, and then directory. Okay, So directory here also a repository name that we should be giving, it should be like this, EKS Terraform. So we will copy this and we will paste it here. One more thing that you need to understand, that here you can see I am using read. Okay, why? Because we are using this backslashes, and we don't want that they should be treated as a escape character. We don't want that. Okay, for that reason you have to make sure that you are using R in front of it, then only it will work. Okay, now here what scenario we have set up? We have set up scenario where two repositories are already cloned and available. That means these two repositories should be just like git pull command should be run for them, while for the third repository there should be git clone command run, right? So we can test it by executing this script. Okay, you can see there is merge request also raised or what. Okay, so we can simply write some command, save this. Okay, and yeah, here also we have to merge. So I will just directly save this. Okay, now you can see if I show you detail, you can see here for two branches it's going to run a merge kind of thing. Okay, and for one, see, merge made by /ORT strategy, it is going to run, and for the third one it's going to just clone. You can see here cloned this one. If I go back to the project folder, you can see new folder is created, and these folders are updated with new file available, which is test.txt file. Okay, so in this way on daily basis you can you can just simply run one single command which is going to update the local repositories, and it's going to run the git pull command. Okay, so you can test it out as well. Now that will be all for today, and thanks for watching. Have a nice day.